Meg, you were here during that exchange on McCurchy, but I think you represented, he was the estate case that he claimed he wasn't a tenant. You're not going to be appearing in that matter. Well, he's the guy that said he wanted a real lawyer rather than a legal aid lawyer. I haven't seen an appearance from anyone.
We'll see if he comes around on our quality.
Ms. Ballou, best of luck to you. I'll probably be seeing you again
Yes.
the rest of this semester.
I will at least be back on November 17th. So
All right, thank you.
thank you, Your Honors. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'll be back at 3:45.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, I've got 1+. What's your name, sir?
My name's Ryan Pinkster.
All right, that's what I thought. Let me give you a name.
Yes, sir.
Larry. Jeez.
All right, this is entitled Terry and Larry Richmond versus Ryan Pinkster and any others at. We were here last time and Terry Richmond was here and Danielle Zimmerman was here. And you were there by telephone. Your contention was that you had paid rent for the whole year. I wasn't clear exactly. I continued this to today at 2:30, and here we are now. Ms. Richmond, what's your position?
He's got so many violations of the lease, I would like him to leave. Because I can't have that dog in there. And he's smoking in there.
So is everybody else. So is
All right, well,
everybody.
the allegations in the notice to quit, which you did a better job than some of the cases, like some of the ones we just did. She alleges that you're smoking marijuana in the apartment. The lease says no smoking, and you're smoking marijuana in multi-family units. You took the neighbor's furniture off the front porch and broke it and threw it in the dumpster. You moved your girlfriend in. She's not on the lease. Your girlfriend has a vicious dog and the lease says no dogs. You took down the smoke detectors and you called to have something fixed, and either you aren't there or you won't answer the door. Ms. Richmond, would you please raise your right hand?
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Pinkster, would you raise yours? You swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief.
Yes, sir.
And those are the allegations that you filed in requesting to terminate this lease. Is that correct?
Yes.
Tell me about this dog.
You're talking
No,
about
just
me?
a minute. I'll come to you. Miss Richmond, what can you tell me about the dog?
Well, it's really intimidating and it's large. And we can't have dogs in a fourplex. If he has a dog, then everybody in the building has to have a dog.
Everybody, well, your upstairs neighbor does have a dog.
Yeah, you're upstairs person. So
I
you know,
asked
right.
him and he said no.
And how about the woman that you let move in?
We're talking
Upstairs.
about you,
Yeah,
Ryan.
stop. Yes,
tried to-
we're not talking about anybody else. We're talking about your lease.
No,
And
I
your
understand.
lease, all right, your lease says you're not supposed to have a dog. Now, is Danielle Zimmerman is also not on the lease. So you move someone in there that's not on the lease and you have a dog, irrespective of whether anybody else has one.
Thing is, I talked
Go ahead.
to Mrs. Richmond, and I told them both about that I'm having somebody move in, and they said she would have to fill out all the paperwork. And the thing is, they refused to give me the paperwork. And the thing about the dog is they didn't have a problem when I first leased out here. They told me as long as I paid the security deposit for the dog, I was able to have a pet. And that's what they told me. But then they took it out of the lease.
All right. What type of dog is this?
She's a mixed lab, Your Honor, around 50 pounds.
Mixed with what?
I'm not quite sure. I want to say some sort of hound because she has that like hound face. I could show you her. She's really goofy.
All right. Well, you've moved into this apartment that you're not on the lease and you brought your dog,
Yes,
which is
Your Honor.
causing the landlords to want him and you to move. You have 10
Yes.
days to move or you're subject to being evicted.
Okay, Your Honor.
So you have
That's the longest.
until November 13th to move.
That's the longest, Your Honor.
I just think it's
Yes.
absurd. I just think it's absurd how like I don't have a criminal history. I'm not a bad person, though I was never given a chance to be put on a lease with my boyfriend.
Well,
Excuse me.
maybe they don't want you on the
Wonderful.
lease and they don't have to let you be put on the lease.
I
So they
understand
don't
that,
need-
Your Honor. It's just that
All
I
right,
just
stop,
that's why we'd
stop,
like to part
stop.
ways as well. I'm stopped.
And I also have a
Oh,
problem because
stop.
I bet.
Don't just
Mm.
that. Just it's okay. We can just part.
I'll let you talk. You don't talk over the judge. And you're very disrespectful. If we were here in the courtroom, you wouldn't do it. There'd be a bailiff in here and it's a different sort of thing. But you don't just start to extemporize. You're not on the lease. You moved in the lease and you brought your dog. So you moved in first and asked for permission later. And they didn't give you permission. They didn't agree to put you on the lease. They also didn't change the lease to allow the dog to be there. They filed a notice to quit back in August. So they've been
That's all right,
asking you to
John.
move since August 16th. It's now it's now November. So go ahead, Mr. Pinkster. Now I'll let you speak.
Your Honor, that's a lie. I don't know if you know Terry or Larry Richmond, but they are offenders when it comes to lying about certain things just to make themselves look better. And if you look
Well, all
into
right,
it, they're about to
stop,
lose their
stop,
business.
They filed this on August 16th.
I never
telling you
signed
the-
anything. I never
No,
signed anything, Your Honor.
I didn't
There's
say that you
nothing-
did sign anything.
They didn't say
They
anything.
allege-
either.
All right, on August 16th, they served a notice on you, say, we want you to move out. You're smoking marijuana in the apartment. You moved your girlfriend in without a permission. You have a dog, which they claim is vicious, and you took down your smoke detectors. I only need one of these things, but two are accurate. You moved the girlfriend in, she's not on the lease. You moved the dog in, there's not on the lease. So they gave you 30 days to move from August 16th. Then on September 18th, they filed this matter. And so this is how landlord-tenant court works. The plaintiffs give notice to the tenant that they have to move. They give them a time period. They gave you 30 days. You didn't move. So they filed this legal case.
It
And
wasn't
you
legal
got
at first.
served. And we had a hearing. Then I gave you an additional 7 days to get legal advice or legal help. There does not appear to be any factual dispute. There is a large dog there, which they claim is vicious. Doesn't matter whether it's vicious or not. You're not permitted under the lease to move a dog in there. Your girlfriend's not on the lease. You moved her in without permission, and somehow they're evil because they wouldn't give you the paperwork to have her move in. They don't want you as a tenant. You have 10 days to move by November 13th. You,
Okay, are we done?
Zimmerman, and the dog.
Sir, how about putting an eviction on my record? Because I honestly didn't do anything wrong. If you look back, I was paying on
Well,
time.
if
I was
we're
making
gone,
sure I
then
made payments and all that.
Right. So if we're gone though by the 13th, there shouldn't be anything. So,
Okay.
so as long as we,
All right.
just continue on as we are.
Well, they
Yeah,
can dismiss the case if you move by the 13th of
Okay.
November. All right. Any other questions?
No,
All right, I'll send you a copy of this order. You also have until November 13th to appeal it. All right, we've been sitting here in awkward silence, waiting for you to appear, Mr. Langland. It seems like you'd be a better job of naming yourself other than iPhone 3. Tamara is here and Mr. McCurchy is here. So let's call this case. This is file 231416 and subtitled The Estate of Linda Lan versus David McCurchy. Tamara Carver is the personal representative of the estate. Mr. McCurchy is one of the heirs of the estate and is residing at the property at. We were here last week on October 27th. We were here by Zoom. I directed Mr. McCurchy to be here live, and he is live. He was on time. He was very unhappy about the whole process and was going to retain counsel. We continued the matter until today. He's expressly indicated he didn't wish to have legal aid represent him. Mr. Langland, is your position the same as it was last week?
You said they wouldn't represent me. My attorney's out of town right now,
Okay.
out of the country, Costa Rica.
All right, Mr. Langland, are you of the same position you were last week?
I am, Your Honor. I apologize for my tardiness. I got caught up in a traffic situation that was unavoidable. But anyhow, yes, the defendant has no claim to this property other than that he has a, I believe it's a 1/5 interest in the corpus of the probate estate. It doesn't give him any greater rights to the property than anybody else. And as I indicated to the court before, the plaintiff in this matter is a successor trustee. And the reason we needed a successor trustee is because no one would evict this gentleman from the property so it could be marketed and sold. And the probate court determined that was an improper action by the prior personal representative, and that's why this plaintiff was substituted. And now we're in the same position, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. McCurchy is here. Mr. McCurchy, what's your position?
Well, my position is I didn't get notified of the last one. I wouldn't have went and met my brother for drinks. I wouldn't even have known about the probate court or whatever, her taking over. I don't know where the probate court got involved because my 3 brothers, it didn't get rushed around because nobody did anything to it. I had a daughter and a brother living there using it for a flop house for almost a year, and they were tearing it up. I went home between Thanksgiving and Christmas last year. Faucet was broke, yard hadn't been touched, shit was gone, and my oldest brother said, like he said, it's paid for. It ain't costing us nothing. I didn't get a letter. Only reason I found out about the last one because I was going to contest it, and he said he would call the judge, and we would have a hearing. If anybody was going to contest it, he said, "I'll call him." And now all of a sudden, and the reason why I locked the place up because everybody was stealing, her being one of them.
Well, at this point,
And it has a list of like 40 some items that won't pass code. So you're gonna cash sale it. She's so greedy for money, apparently. But the problem is I don't live there. I come home every weekend and I work on that place. I've renovated the kitchen, both bathrooms, a bedroom. I put rails up on most of the ramps where my mom had them built. I got mad when she stole totes of gun parts. And who knows what, I know she told antique wooden box, so I locked the house up.
all right, well, the probate court appointed her as a,
Well, because I couldn't be there because I didn't know about it.
to perfect this, to get the house vacated so it can be sold.
It was already in the process.
All right, well, you're one of the heirs.
It was already in the process. That attorney talked to my brother. Me and my brother Daryl had already had a state sales company out there. She went through the whole property, told us how much it would cost, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden this happens. And Daryl even told him, the attorney, or he said, well, you'll be willing to take over the executive of the account for the estate. And, it just is, I don't live there. I come home every weekend, 2 or 3 days. I poured cement pads out
All
there.
right, well, here, stop doing any
Well-
more work to the place. I'm disappointed. You and I spent a lot of time in our probation program and that you and your brother are drinking again, but life goes on. You have 10 days to move out
Yeah,
by October 13th. Excuse me, November. I've been doing that all November 13th. You have to November 13th to appeal this. I had a case the other day where they were evicting the only 2 heirs. So they were gonna evict the heirs, sell the property, and then they got the money. Except there were probably other creditors that needed to be paid, and I'm not sure what the circumstances of
that's
this.
not all she was. She owes them $20,000 just like I do for a truck. I took my mom's car, she took her dad's truck.
Well, then there will be other bills from the estate. I'm not sure what the value
I
of this
know how
property is.
I know how it's gonna go. But I will be appealing it because I wanna be seeing all
All
the
right,
checking
well, you
accounts.
do have 10 days to appeal this. But you have 10 days to vacate unless there's some sort of a stay. Mr. McCurchy, if you go out to the court office, we'll give you a copy of this order.
I don't need it.
Well, why don't you get one anyway, just so you can share it with your brother. All right, I'll ask the bailiff to take that out. Mr. Langland, what happened to you? Mr. McCurchy was cursing his way out of here, but I don't feel the need to, All right, your lawyer left. I'm not sure what happened to him. He was late and then anyway, he's got 10 days to move.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Frank took it out the other way.
Okay, thanks, Judge.